What's up, Nitro Nation? Well, it is time, people. I mentioned plenty of times on my past videos, no need for me to do any break-in videos, no need for me to, there's plenty of them out there. I have a few myself. You can go back and watch my older videos. I have break-ins, plenty of them. I recommend Mr. Za. I recommend Adam Drake. Those are the two main people that I learned break-ins from. There's other ones out there. Cody King and his dad have a great one. Ty Tessman, Ty Tessman's father, has a great one. There's plenty of them. Croddick has them. Lots of guys, lots of different ways. My disclaimer is this is just what works for me. You do what you want. I've never broken in a pico of any kind. This will be my first. Yes, I have another one. This is my second one. The other one is RB modded. This is bone stock out of the box. I want to break it in because I want to see the attributes. I want to see what this engine is all about, bone stock. I know a little bit of what they're about modded because I did have one modded somewhat by RB Mods, and you guys know the whole deal on that. I know once this goes to Lance, it's getting the full treatment, man. And when it comes back, I guarantee you, because I know his work, this motor will be a badass. So I figured I'd share with you guys. I really wasn't going to film any of this at all. Maybe I'll show you when I cross it over to 20 or to 30%. Because what I'm going to do is break it in. Since Picos have a lot of pinch, they're a little bit more finicky, challenging. If you want a challenge to break in an engine, try to break in a stock one of these. Okay, modded's different. Modded Picos to break in are a little bit challenging, but not even as much, because when they're bone stock, the pinch on these things is ridiculous. I just had the plug out of it, and I was setting up the bump box and making sure, because you want to line up your bump box and make sure that it's, good to go. And man, this thing got stuck a couple times. So when it gets stuck, you can use I don't suggest using these because these will break. They're only meant to tune. But you can use a screwdriver, but heat the engine up first. Because even if you heat the engine up, sometimes you're not going to be able to turn it by your fingers. Been there, done that. So if you are going to use the screwdriver, make sure you heat the engine up first. Then take a screwdriver and be very delicate with it. You don't want to mess anything up, but don't get a screwdriver in there and start jamming it around. Some people say don't use a screwdriver at all, but even if you heat it up, some of these engines, you need something to push the flywheel. Your hand's not going to work. I've tried it plenty of times, especially with this thing. This thing is really tight. So anyway, do what you want. That's just what works for me, and I've never had an issue. I've never broken a rod. The only reason I ever threw a connecting rod is running the engine full-blown for whatever reason. Anyway, this one's brand new. Shout out, I will be getting in touch with you again. 1/5 RC. Shout out to 1/5 RC. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have this engine. So don't worry, Chris. I will be talking to you soon to work out the rest of the kinks on this. But anyway, it was a little more than I paid for my first one, but I don't care because these engines are very rare. Now let me educate you guys, okay? FYI. And this is coming from the person that designed this and many other Pico engines. My engine modifier, engine builder, let me know personally, and you guys believe what you want, but do your own homework. These Picos, the one that says OFNA, it was before that, which some people have. It's a 28, okay, same thing, P320, but it says OFNA on it. That's not this one. Those ones are the first generation of this engine. These here, with this type of head, P328s with this design, second generation. The Pico Boost and even new Picos, those are the third generation. All three of these Pico 28s are all pretty much identical. The only thing they changed, and especially on the newer ones, is the cooling fin, the cooling head on it, and it's a turbo head, and a turbo, obviously button head. But other than that, the block, the crank, the rod, sleeve, piston, all that is identical. It's the same engine. Okay, that's coming from the guy that built all these picos, that designed them and built them. Okay, my engine modder. So you believe who you want. I'm just telling you, that's my information comes from. Very reputable, and I believe what he says. Okay, and yeah, so all these picos are all the same. He said, actually, the one right before this, the Offna one, is pretty badass, but this one is bad. They're all great motors, engines. Now, as far as the portings, it says on the box it's a 7-port. I know the boosts are a 5-port. From what my engine builder was saying, my engine builder was telling me, they're all the same. They're all the same ports. Okay, so they're all badass. But this is the first time I will be breaking in a stock one. I'm only going to show you a little bit of the first tank. We're going to heat it up to about 250. I will keep this thing warmed up about 250. I don't use a head warmer. I only use a heat gun, a temperature gauge, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to keep it about 250 consistently. I'm going to run probably about 5 tanks on the box. I'm probably going to run 5 tanks on the ground when I put it under load. And then probably 10 to 12 tanks of 20. I use originally 12 Byrons, okay, fuel, but I ramp the lubrication up to about 14%. And I run this thing pretty much on the picos. I would run it around flush. Run it as rich as you can without the motor quitting, because if it gets too rich, you'll have a hard time running it. So I like to run it to where it's just spitting out oil all over my hand. Also, I'm going to do the Adam Drake, what he recommends on your box if you're breaking them in this way. If you don't have a hoodie, tilt it to its side so you can let all the oils drain out. Okay, and just keep an eye on it. Don't walk away. I'm going to sit here. It's I've got about an hour and a half left, so I think I can get all 5 tanks on the box. I'd like to today, and then maybe tomorrow after I get done running the Techno. Hopefully I need to get out and brat my shit. I'm tired of running all these RTRs, and yes, I am helping out the newbies. Yes, it is about the newbies, not about me, but Muggy needs his fix too. I can't. Man cannot live on bread alone. It's just like in Nitro, man cannot live on RTRs and stock motors alone. I need my modified shit, man. So we're going to get some of that modified, God willing, Rex Legend 28.8 RCR modded that is sitting in the Techno right now, prepped and ready to rock and roll. But first, we got the MBX7. It's going to take the load on this one. I don't know if I've ever broken in anything on the XTM, why am I saying XTM? MBX7 RT race trucky, which is RT stands for race trucky. Okay, we're gonna break it in on this baby, and let's fire up. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. I don't know. Let's heat her up. We're gonna get her up to about 250. Also, a little note, because I've done it before. Be careful when you're heating up your head. I've heated it up this way and ended up melting my outerwear. My very first one. That's no bueno. So we're going to get this baby. Yeah, but I want to know what this is, what a PT28 is like bone stock. That way when I get it back from Lance, I'm going to be like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be like, holy shnikes. This thing is not even the same engine. So anyway, let's heat this bad boy up. Get it nice and saturated, and fire her up. I don't know if I can fire with one hand, but we'll find out, right? I might have to set the camera down, people, so bear with me. I don't even have my camera stand. Dang it. Where are we at? .201, I want to get it a little bit more. Like I said, these picos, because they're really tight, I'm going to run them about 250. Most engine builders and modders will tell you when you're breaking in. Some people will say, you know, the old 200, which is fine. But some of these engines that are a little bit tighter, I want to break them in a little bit hotter. Heat is their friend, remember that, people. 231, a little more. Especially because by the time you take off the gun, and because it's kind of cool, it's probably about low 60s or 50 out right now in SoCal. So, let's see where we're at. 265, that should be good. Okay, let's see if we can fire her up, people. All right. Oh, first time, baby. There we go. Oh, snap. Just like an Italian. There you go, people. First start of the P3.28. Bone stock for now. But trust me, this thing is going next level. Because even though this is a badass engine, it's not next level yet. So, anyway, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Just like that. That way you can have everything drain out. That's how fat you want it. If it don't get all over the place, it don't belong in your face. So anyway, I'm not going to bore you guys too much with this. Whoa, got temperature quick. That's about right around there where I want to keep it. Make sure she's nice and fat, people. Oh yeah, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Nice and gooey. How we like it. Spitting out that goo. Oh yeah. Greasy around here, people. Man, I just want to wrap this thing right now. This is only the first tank. Yeah, I'm not going to bore you guys with this too much, but I figured that I would share with you guys first fire up of the Pico P3.28. This thing will be a monster. We'll see how badass it is stock. So, sounds good to me. Got the 086 clone knockoff for break-in. He sounds healthy. Heat is your friend. A little warm, but we'll let it come down to around 240, 269. That's funny because one time when I got my first modified engines from RV Mods, I talked to Rick Brake and I said, "Hey Rick, what's a good temperature to break in? 200, whatever?" He said he breaks in all his engines at 250. So that's Rick, but everybody's different, like I said. So. Getting greasy out here, people. Oh yeah. Nice and gooey-ooey, just like I like it. Just like I like it. Alright people, well I'm not gonna bore you with no long break-in videos. That's 17 minutes too long anyway. Just wanted to share with you guys first fire up, first tank of the brand new P3 Pico .28. Badass engine. My second favorite, really close to the Novarossi 28.8 Rex Legend stock. Well, I don't know stock because I haven't ran it, but modded. Definitely can't wait to get this one sent to Lance. It's going to get the full treatment, full RCR renewed RCR treatment, and but we're going to see what it's got, how big of balls it has, bone stock. So I'm not going to show you any more breaking videos. Just wanted to share the first fire up with you guys, with my brothers out there, the Nitro Nation. Because sharing is caring, and give you guys a couple tips and pointers, even though I have videos already of break-ins. Like I said, I break in mine. See, it's 211 already. I want to get it back up to 250. I also did, I think, 5 or 6 heat cycles on this engine before I even fired it up. So, highly recommend it. Do your heat cycles. Make sure the piston's at bottom dead center when you're doing it. Heat it up to 200, 4 to 5 times or whatever floats your boat. And then start breaking it in. There you go. So, I'm not even running, if you look, I'm not even running flush. I can run it fatter, but I think that's rich enough. I mean, we can go a little bit richer. Now
loosened her up about a full turn. Oh yeah, now she's really gooey. Nasty. 14%, people. That's what I'm breaking it in. 2014 Byron's. Number 1. Alright, people. My phone's getting all greasy. That's all I got. Everybody, again, stay inside. Unless you're breaking on the nitro motor, but make sure nobody's around you, which nobody wants to be around me. Well, this thing is choking me out with fumes right now. So anyway, I'm going to finish my break-in, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. By the time you see this video, you have already hopefully watched my nitro RTR video. Oh, well, see, it's too rich. You don't want that. Alright, people, let me fire her back up again. Well, we're getting kind of low on fuel. I'm going to refuel her, fire her back up again, and I will catch you guys at the next video, which will be running footage. Okay? Alright, people, peace, I'm out.